Hello, WhatCulture. My name is Simon, and you are about to watch SmackDown Ups and Downs. But before we do that, I have to explain my right arm, which is working again. And the reason it's working again is this. I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I'm going to be completely transparent. In around about 2.5 weeks, I have a hospital appointment. And if I go to that hospital appointment and this thing hasn't started to get better, I have to have surgery. So what we've decided to do is for me to use it as if I was using it in real life. And if we start to see an improvement, great. And if we don't, someone is gonna get a giant knife, stick it into my shoulder and fix me. That's why it's working again. And also now I'm doing it, it feels really weird. I've been talking like this for around about 3 months and now we have 2 arms, but let's not worry about that because you know the deal. I watch wrestling so you don't have to. It's SmackDown Ups and Downs, so let's up those downs. SmackDown started with Miz TV, and while it was a little bit like every single episode begins in the same way, it was still entertaining. Get to know. What was dumb is that Miz told us he had breaking news, although unfortunately that news was that at WWE Goes to Australia and has some fun in a big wrestling match event, he was going to be taking on Daniel Bryan, and whoever won that would become the #1 contender. But here's the thing, Miz. That ain't breaking news. That came out about 3 weeks ago. So now you're lying to all of our faces. And we don't like liars here on Ups and Downs. We only like people that talk in honesty. You get it down. From here, we got the usual insults from Maurice and her hubby bubby dub dub as they said that Daniel Bryan was rubbish and Brie Bella was rubbish. And then Maurice announced that this was going to be her last SmackDown for some time. The crowd get booing her. The Miz got really mad about the fact that the crowd get booing her. You know, it was the same old stuff. Eventually, Daniel Bryan came out and they started having a big brawl. But the twist then happened because, oh no, Daniel Bryan knocked the Miz into Maurice and she sold it like she'd been shot by a gun. Now, WWE did play this very well because for a little bit, there was a somber mood like, oh no, something has gone wrong, but then Maurice got a big Joker-like smile on her face because it was all a ruse, and the Miz, he snuck up behind Daniel Bryan and he was gonna give him the skull-crashing finale, but the yes man is too smart, and he fought them off, and then he once again threw the Miz back into Maurice, and that time you were like, Bryan then cut a backstage promo after this, after he got asked one of the dumbest questions I've ever heard by one of those WWE announcers. Just go watch it. You may as well gone up to him and gone, are you feeling okay, Daniel? Anyway, he's going to go to Australia. He's going to become the #1 contender. It was just more Miz and Daniel Bryan stuff, but the crowd loved it. And you know what? I got a kick out of it too. Then for some reason, Cesaro defeated Kofi Kingston. Now, I'm guessing it's because that Super Showdown, I'm going to have to say that loads over the next few weeks, it is indeed going to be the Bar taking on the New Day, but it kind of felt like we'd seen this 1,000 times before, which is the second time I've said this on the video, and for a third time, it feels that way because we have seen this loads of times before. Cesaro did win after the neutralizer, and the real highlight here was before any of this kicked off, because we were backstage, there was Big E, there was Kofi Kingston, and there was Xavier Woods, and Big E was talking in an Australian accent. Kofi Kingston told him that was offensive, but Big E said it was okay because the Iconics had given him the thumbs up. That was ridiculous, and as you know, I like the ridiculous. There's your up. Which brings us to the low light of this week's SmackDown, and not only is it gonna get it down, but I'm also gonna dish out the first ever brown down for the show on Tuesday nights, and it really annoys me that it has to come in the form of Rusev and Aiden English. But yes, the brown down. Basically, WWE has decided to split Rusev Day up. And if you want to do that, that's absolutely fine, but surely we could have come up with something better than this. Rusev is indeed going to be facing Shinsuke Nakamura later in the night. Aiden English was there to try and rev him up, and Rusev said to him, you don't need to rev me up because I'm going to do okay because you aren't in the match this evening. And that's not fair, Ruru. I love you, but that's not fair because even though, yes, he took the fall at the Hell in a Cell, which caused that team to lose, and that's why Rusev's mad, you wouldn't have even been in that match if it wasn't for Aiden English in the first place, so you're not thinking. Then Aiden began insulting Rusev Day behind their backs, but he didn't realize that Lana was listening, and there it is. There's your planting of seeds. There's your catalyst. Lana then ran off to tell Rusev, and Aiden English chased her and it was a bit like siblings who had done something bad in the garden, and one of them wanted to tell mum and dad before the other one. I can't see how this benefits anyone, and really, I thought all of this was kind of poorly done, but more on that later. SmackDown at least went all nutty after this, and I enjoyed it. Getting enough. As Todd Phillips was talking about Sunday's pay-per-view, all of a sudden he found out there was some commotion in the production truck. So we cut to the production truck, and there was Randy Orton demanding that they showed the footage from Hell in a Cell where he took a screwdriver and he shoved it through Jeff Hardy's ear hole. Now the reason this was so strange is because Orton came off like some kind of perv who had gone to said production truck to try and get his sexual kicks. The point was mainly this was nothing compared to what he was going to do to his next victim, and Randy Orton actually came off very good here, came across like a proper psychopath because he's a very good heel. A sexually obsessed heel. I made that last bit up. AJ Styles promo next, and you know what? It's getting it down. My hope with all of this was that WWE was planning to do something just a little bit different. Now, I'm not saying they should turn AJ Styles heel. We've done that, and we don't need to do it again right now. But given the finish to that match on Sunday, and the fact that AJ Styles is a babyface, I thought that, we could kind of skirt around with the fact that AJ needs to come out here and say, look, I need to relinquish my title, given the ending to that match. But no, we're not doing this. Instead, he said Lady Luck was shining on him, and that the ref's decision is final. That's and it doesn't play into the story at all. I'm sorry, champ. I love you. I really do. You're the man. For this, you deserve better. You deserve better. You deserve a lot better. And we go back to the Rusev Day conundrum now, as it continued to get even weirder. Lana was there and she was trying to tell Rusev everything that Aiden English had said, but he didn't want to hear it because he wanted to prepare for his fight against Shinsuke Nakamura. He did, however, ask Aiden English to do his ring entrance. What are you doing, Rusev? What are you doing? You literally told Aiden to fuck off earlier. And that's right, I did just bleep myself. So Aiden was at ringside for this, and I tell you, I actually thought it was a really decent match, so that's gonna get an up. It sucks that Nakamura feels so irrelevant at this point, but I guess here, the focus was on Rusev Day, so he just has to fade off into the distance, but still dumb. Lana and English were basically arguing on the outside throughout all of this, and after Rusev had smashed the matchka kick into Nakamura's face, Aiden got on the apron and he shouted, Rusev Day! Crush! And that distracted my man known as Rusev, and he got rolled up and he lost. And I'm looking over here because it's my forlorn position. The interesting part, however, was that English attacked Rusev, and you heard that right. Rusev didn't attack English, English attacked Rusev. So within this feud they're obviously going to go into, Aiden is the heel, which means Rusev should be the face. So maybe the highlight here is that finally WWE is going to let Rusev play up to the fact that everyone cheers him. I really don't know though, and none of this made sense, and it really wasn't very good. That's how I felt about it. I watched it and go, I don't know why you're breaking these people up. It doesn't benefit anybody, and that's why it gets her down. I am happy to return to this in a few weeks though if I look back and realise that actually Rusev benefited from all of it. But for now, no. AJ Styles then beat Andrade, Cien, Almas in an untitled match, and it rocked up. It was just awesome, to be honest, and while Almas never actually wins, the fact that he's able to hang in there with the best guys on the roster, you gotta believe that good things are in his future. A near fall after Andrade's double knees really got the crowd into it, as it did me. I actually thought maybe he was gonna win. And then I thought, why couldn't we have done that? It was a non-title match. It would have been an interesting twist. But no, we didn't do it. Instead, Styles won after the Stars clashed, but he should have been more observant because as soon as he got the 1, 2, 3, Samoa Joe appeared and he started to whoop AJ's ass. However, apparently we don't like Samoa Joe anymore because the WWE Champion got the advantage and he sent Samoa Joe packing through the crowd. So that's just great, isn't it? Joe lost at Hell in a Cell and now he can't even do a sneak attack very well. Awesome, I love this. Why would I want to see Samoa Joe do good things? Who cares about Samoa Joe? Throw him in the bin, close it. Oh, he's away with the trash, who cares? Then Asuka defeated Billie Kay in a match. I mean, it was fine. It was decent enough, but this whole angle is dying a death. Down. Peyton Royce was in Billy's corner and Naomi was in Asuka's corner, and eventually Asuka just whoop pow, there it is from nowhere, the Asuka lock, and she tapped her out. But honestly, I don't know anybody that's into this, and if you are, your name is probably Brian James. Things picked up after this, thank goodness, as Paige welcomed the brand new SmackDown Women's Champion to the ring, which of course is Becky Lynch. Everybody loved her, everybody cheered, it made my heart sing with glee. You've heard that before and you'll hear it again, which means it not only gets an up, but it gets the golden up. Once more, she did channel Stone Cold Steve Austin in the sense she doesn't give a shit about anybody else, she only cares about herself, and she continually bigged up herself during this promo, and came across like an absolute badass. She was so confident, she even called Charlotte Flair out, which is the way in wrestling you say somebody's name. They're amazingly already prepared. At the entranceway, some dude starts the music and they come out. It's handy. It's really handy. We do have to say that Charlotte also got a big ovation, so that's interesting, but there ain't no two ways about it. The plan here, or at least from WWE's eyes, was to ensure that Becky Lynch was seen as the heel and Charlotte was seen as the face. That didn't happen, you fools. This is like Roman Reigns in reverse. Charlotte said all the good things. She said that Becky deserved her championship win and that really it was all on her for giving up their friendship. And Becky Lynch, she just laughed it all off and nobody cared. We carried on yelling, go woohoo for Becky Lynch anyway. At one point, Lynch even told Charlotte to put the belt around her waist and she stood there with both her arms out. It was great. It was really funny. Then Becky straight up called Flair a bitch and that was too much and the two started to brawl. But guess who got the upper hand? That's right, it was the champion. She locked on the disarmer. And if you're thinking, oh, then the audience started to boo, they didn't. They loved it even more. And right now, basically, Becky can do whatever she wants and people are just going to go crazy all the time. The fact is, this new version of Becky absolutely rocks, and that's why it's got a golden up. Why would anybody boo her? She goes out, she gets what I want, and if you get in her face, she whoops your ass. That is also how SmackDown ended, if you can believe it, but I was all right with it because, again, just to underline this, Becky Lynch is the best thing at the moment about that whole damn show. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's SmackDown. Like, share, and subscribe. Head on over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. And follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you for watching. And make sure you do the Ups and Downs trilogy this week. So you watch this one, you watch Ups and Downs for Raw, and you watch Ups and Downs from Hell in a Cell on Sunday. And yes, doing this video with two arms has felt absolutely alien to me. And yes, my shoulder has started to hurt. So that's now good. Why don't we just throw me in the toilet? I will see you soon.